Throughout world religions, there's this idea of pilgrimage, spiritual journey, that you go in search of God or the sacred or in search of yourself. Whether you call it a spiritual quest or an identity search or something like that, people all around the world have their reasons to go on pilgrimage. It doesn't really matter what you believe or what you think you're going to find. This kind of holy travel helps you to find it. In fact, a lot of what Jesus did with his disciples was basically road trips. He left Galilee and took his disciples, and they went and healed people, and he taught, and they traveled together, and they learned what the kingdom of God was about. The past year or so, I had this strong yearning, this urge to go on a pilgrimage. I want to see God and the world through a different filter, a different context. I want to switch out my Western culture, my Western filter of American life, and switch in other cultures and other contexts, other filters to see the world, to see reality through. I hope that while it's inescapable, like seeing the world through a filter is inescapable, I hope that by switching my filters, I'll learn a little something about the world that I wouldn't have otherwise been able to see. But a trip like this, a journey, takes a lot of preparation, a lot of time, and it also requires a great degree of freedom. I'm thinking of going for 6 months to a year. And frankly, I have too much of an obligation to the federal government to leave the country for 6 to 12 months right now. So this will have to wait until after I get my student loans paid off. But in the meantime, I've come upon an interesting opportunity. This summer I have the chance actually not just to go, but to lead a team to India. We have a connection with an organization called Harvest India, and we're going with the support of my church, New Song LA, and we'll be volunteering at Harvest India and pursuing God in the company of the Christians who are there in India. I'm very excited about this trip, and I'm very excited that I get to go with people that I know. In fact, the entire team is made up of people that I've known for at least several months. In fact, most of them are from my Bible study. So let's meet the people who are actually going. So I first heard about this trip to India from a woman in my Bible study. Her name's Vanessa, and she's interested in perhaps moving to India for a longer term, perhaps even the rest of her life. And I started thinking, wouldn't it be great to go with my friend to India and travel with her and learn about what's going on there and what the church is doing in India? Wouldn't it be such a great experience, you know, just go off and do this? And then we started talking about it with the Bible study that we're both in. And before long, everybody in the study was like, yeah, you know, that does sound like a lot of fun. It feels like something that we would all grow and learn a lot from. We'd have a chance to serve the community there in India if we helped out with Harvest India. And before long, almost everyone in my Bible study was on board with this idea, and I was like, you know, if everybody's going, there doesn't need to be any discussion. I'm going as well. So I'm very happy to be able to go with friends who I know well before the trip even begins. I think it's going to be great to grow together in our friendships and to get to know each other better. And I think that our team will function very well because we all know and love each other. Here's a picture of my team. You can see Vanessa here as my co-leader. And then there's Kemi, John, Isaiah, Maddie, Tracy, and Jen. We are studying the Gospel of John inductively because we all want to know God better, and we want to live together in a community that explores what it means to be the kingdom of God on earth, what it means to live according to the rule of a God who says that he's the king of the universe.
Most of us attend a church called New Song LA. New Song is the second church in a multi-site church that is called New Song. We have sites in Bangkok, London, Los Angeles, Irvine, and North Orange County. We have a one-word vision that's reconciliation. It's reconciling people to each other and people to God. It's a multi-ethnic church in downtown Crenshaw. We meet in Crenshaw High, and a lot of people consider this to be a bad neighborhood where they wouldn't want to go. It's definitely part of the inner city, and part of the church's vision is bringing our resources and our time and our energy and investing it in this area, in the kids in this area, and in the businesses and the community here, because we want to see restoration brought to this once affluent neighborhood. Once we get to India, we'll be working with a group called Harvest India. It was founded by a native Indian woman and is now run by her 2 sons. They do basically everything that Jesus told his disciples to do. They have clinics that treat the sick and injured. We'll come back to that in a minute. They have AIDS hospices and halfway houses for former prostitutes. They feed the hungry. They take care of orphans. They have houses for widows. And they train pastors and plant churches. And it seems like they are a vital part of their community and the support network in their city. Speaking about the city, Guntur actually is the city where Harvest India is located and where we'll be serving. Let's take a look at Guntur in Google Earth.
So let's go take a look at India. Way over here on the other side of the globe, this is as far as I've ever traveled, so I'm pretty excited. This is India, this little triangular pointy bit sticking off the bottom. You're probably familiar with it, but just in case. We're going to be flying into the state of Andhra Pradesh, which is this region right here around Hyderabad. We'll fly into the Hyderabad International Airport. And then we'll take a train or a bus into Guntur, which is the actual city where Harvest India is located. These are actual satellite photographs of India. That's why the color is a little blotchy. Different satellites fly over at different times, and they use different cameras to take pictures of the same terrain. This is the city of Guntur. It has an estimated population of 818,000 people, and its inner radius is about 6 miles across. You can see from this view that this doesn't look exactly like an American city. There are no skyscrapers. All the houses are kind of ramshackle and pieced together. Here you can see the street with some cars driving along. The majority of the population in Guntur is from middle and lower middle class families. Here you can see panning across the city, some of the different houses, neighborhoods. Interestingly enough, helium was discovered for the first time in Guntur during a solar eclipse. One of the major exports of Guntur is textiles. Here we can see some farmland near the edge of the cities. And zooming out, we can see some of the villages surrounding Guntur. Harvest India has ministries in most of these surrounding neighborhoods. And now we're back to India. So that's it right there. This is where I will be.